Guys, Stavros here from RPM Auto Reviews with a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe Ultimate 2-liter turbo all-wheel drive. It's very sunny out today. It's in the mid-20s for temperature, which is I think mid-70s. Very stylish car. I think it's one of people's favorites for design. It's got a cool front end. If I'm not mistaken, these are the actual headlights down here, and these are just like the turn signals and some extra lighting and ambiance, but it's the headlights are down there on it, and the fog lights are also down there. They are LED. I'm gonna double check that. I think they might be the adaptive kind as well, a turn with you on the higher trim models. This one has the 19-inch rims, and it comes with as low as 17, I think, in the base, and there might be an 18-inch model option as well. Very nice car. Size-wise, it's just a little shorter, I think, than a Grand Cherokee, but it's very similar to that. It's definitely bigger than the Mazda CX-5. It's a little bit bigger than the CR-V and the RAV4 nose, because those cars are actually bigger now than they were before, so they're not all in the same class. It's smaller than a Murano, but again, it's closer to those mid-size. If they call it a compact, it's not. It's definitely big enough to be a mid-size SUV. So this one does have the proximity sensor. So when you get really close, it's supposed to open up on its own if you just wait a couple of seconds. I was just testing it and it wasn't working. Maybe there's a option in the techie infotainment system to turn that on or off. So it might be set off because I couldn't get it to work, but I have got it to work in another Santa Fe. So here we got almost 37 cubic feet of space, so it's very good size. You can see the distance on here. I didn't bring my measure tape with me on this one, but it's definitely very wide, bigger than all the more of the compact, like bigger than the RAV4, a tad more than the CR-V, but very close. A lot of space. And this one, which I love about the Hondas, is they got this hidden compartment down here for stuff, and it's got even more back here. I was trying to lift up the first one. I forgot there were two. My car has two different ones as well. Huge space here. Huge space under there. So lots of room for stuff. Now, because that's there is a spare wheel on it, but it's underneath the vehicle. So you do have to get underneath and unwind it and lower it and take it off if you need it. That creates a lot more hidden cargo space here for stuff. Okay, and it does have the seat down, as you see there, for folding down. I'm going to go all the way down because the headrest is a little too high. It has a 12-volt back here. Got your little cubbies. It's got some tie downs here, some extra speakers here and here. This one's got the Infinity speaker, some more tie downs here, a woofer back here, and for the cargo cover can go here. So very large, very nice size here, guys. Very nice car. This one has soft touch here. The top is not leather, it's like a vinyl stuff. It's harder here, and it's got that kind of like a soft touch. It's a little bit of a soft touch up here too. Hard plastic here, soft here. Down here I think is the leather, but this side doesn't. I don't think it is. I mean, it's stitched together, but it doesn't feel like leather up there. It's got a speaker here and a more kind of really modern design there, and it's harder plastic down here again. We've got a cubby here and room for a nice sized bottle here. And let me put that seat back. Now, the good thing about, hold on, the Santa Fe has a couple of extra spots for the rear seat. As you can see, it goes down a more angle than other cars have, so that's a pretty cool feature. And the seat can slide forward. So if you just needed more cargo space without putting the seats down for some reason, or if you had really short kids, I mean, that front seat is actually more back right now. This front seat is not where I was driving. I'm 5'6". It's back because it's got a feature that when you turn off the car and you open the door, the seat goes back more, making it a little easier for you to get in and out, I guess, so you don't hit your knees or something. So that's more far back, like where somebody 6 foot tall would be sitting. So back to this. because the seat slides back and forth, definitely a lot of room for adding more cargo if you got somebody short at the front and you still want the cargo space. Or of course, if you put the seats down, the cargo space will go from 37 cubic feet closer to 80 cubic feet. But it's nice that it slides back and forth, so if you don't want to put the seats down but you need more cargo, you have the options there. So I like that. If it's all the way back there, a lot of room. Okay, I got at least, geez, that's more than 6 inches, right? 7 inches. And the seat is back a little bit more, like a couple inches further back for where I was sitting at 5'6". So tons of room back here, guys. It's not a small car. Panoramic roof, sunroof is nice. It does make the roof line a little shorter for that, but because it's a big car, it still have lots of room. So, you know, I always do my hand test. My whole hand can go right over my head, and I still have room for at least one good sized finger above that, or maybe a bit more. Of course, in the center, it does go a little higher here, so the center person would have a little more, but the people sitting on the sides, our heads are just around this area. But either way, lots of room. There's only a small hump down here, so it's very flat for someone to sit there. This seat's even further back than that one, and I still got like at least 4 inches there. It's pretty good, a lot of room. And as you can see on this window there, we have it here. It's pretty cool to have the sunshades. All right, isn't that cool? I'll double check if that comes in the lower models or not, so I can post that in the description below. So here we have your rear vents, a nice little cubby for stuff, 2 USB ports for rear passengers to charge their items. And here we just have cup holders, no other compartments or anything else, just the cup holders, and a decent size. It's padded, so it's very nice. These seats are leather. Now these seats are heated in the upper 2 level trims, and they're not cooled back here, but they are heated here and the backrest. Some cars only give you heat back here, but not the back part, so that's bonus. The front is heated and cooled seats, and I gotta say, they're actually very comfortable. Good padding, good support. I mean, there's slightly bucket design here, right? Not as much as the front, but a little bit of that, and they're very good. And the length here is reasonably good. I'm 5'6", and if I sit all the way back, my knee just clears this here with a little bit room, so it's pretty good. Good size, very comfy. Nice space to be for a long trip for sure. No complaints. Okay, this one does have the adjustment here. Equinox does not have this, and the last year's BMW X1 and X3 don't have this either. I don't know about the 2020s, but last year's model don't. And there's one Mac pocket there, but no Mac pocket on this side for some reason. Overall, lots of space, guys. It's very good sized rear cabin. Again, I don't have the actual like specifications by numbers, but it's very good. We got a turn signal here. So what do we got here? Same soft touch features here as the back seats. A lot of space here for stuff, and another bottle of water. We do have 10 power adjustment here, back, forth, up, down in the angle. The backrest. Now this one comes with the lumbar support height adjustment as well. So that's nice to have the height adjustment of the lumbar support. And over here we have this thing here. Moves, watch this. So that comes out there for people who are longer and can need the extra support. Now I'm 5'6", and I have to keep it on the lowest, on the shortest pulled in position, because as my leg comes down, the back of my calf is being pushed out if I leave it on the longer side, and then my foot comes and is really touching here. If I'm just trying to cruise control and I want my foot to rest, it's touching up against here because this pushes my calf out. So I need to have it on the shortest, on the smallest inner position for someone my height, and then that allows my leg to relax more in this direction and rest somewhere around here instead of really close to the gas pedal. So, but for taller people, you'll be further back, and that will be more comfortable. These seats are also leather. Nice thump to the door. So what do we got here? There's a good size leather padded. The padding is not that much, but I mean, it's okay. You can just rest your arm there. I don't think it needs to be a lot, but it's not a lot, but it's okay. Good size cubby. There, a lot of room. There's another little spot up here. It's got some kind of a little clippy thing here. Some room here. Cup holders are very good size. Okay, we got the gear shifter, and what we have here is we have the driving modes for your Smart, Comfort, and Sport. The Smart is for adding a more fuel efficient drive. The Comfort is the average setting. When you start the car, it's automatically in that sense. And the Sport, now the Sport, unlike other cars, though it does add some RPM range and it lowers the gear for you for more responsiveness in the RPMs, it does affect how the all-wheel drive system works in this H-Track. So when you have it in Smart mode, it can be as much as 0 power to the back seats. My apologies, to the rear wheels, and as much as only 15%. So even if you gun it a little bit to pass somebody in Smart mode, it won't give more than 15% of power to the rear wheels. In Comfort mode, it can give from 15 to 35% of the power to the rear wheels. In acceleration mode, if you're going off the hill, it senses that to give you more, and it's all like smart sensor that way, right? In the Sport mode, I believe it's already driving with a little bit of power to the rear wheels, and so it helps it with more responsiveness in that regard as well. And it can go up to 50% power to the rear wheels. Being able to give you more power to the rear wheels when you accelerate in Sport mode does help a wee bit with acceleration, as opposed to those systems that only affect the steering and the revving and do not do anything for your rear wheel push. So that is a bonus above the other Sport modes in other cars. Here we have the parking sensors off. We have the button for the rear view camera. This does have a rear view, sorry, not the rear view camera, for the surround camera. When you put it in reverse, you can see all around. It has the auto hold for the car stopping. You let go of the brake. To reach for something, you accidentally let go of the brake, the car won't move. It's got a hill descent. I think this is the off for when the engine you come to a stop, the engine doesn't turn off. And of course your electric brake here. Start up the car. Okay, now that I started the car, my seat's going back in the position that I had set it for. Now this one does have the manual mode, no paddle shifters, so you push up for gear up and you push back for gear down. And I believe it was an 8-speed, traditional automatic transmission, 8-speed. I do find while I'm driving it's a little bit sensitive and trying to find the right gear, and it has reasonably noticeably amount of turbo lag when you're accelerating. And these new 8 speeds and all that kind of stuff and 10 speeds are helping with fuel economy, but I really find like when I was driving the Mazda CX-5 having a 6 gear only, when you press the gas and it goes, it takes a while before it changes gears. So even though it's better to have more gears for fuel economy, for acceleration, you just want to feel that nice long acceleration before it changes gears. You don't want to be changing all the time, because even while it's changing, you're losing a short moment, a very split short moment where it's not accelerating as much because of the gear changing. So I rather, I kind of like the six gear systems, but the 8 and the 10 are the way things are changing. It helps the cars be more fuel efficient in the higher gears on highway. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so down here we have the wireless charging here. If you put your phone, it does charge wireless, and it's a good sized cubby area as well. We have a 12 volt here, USB, auxiliary, and the charging USB. Now it's nice to have I like that this one has lots of hard buttons for the climate control, the heating, cooling seats, the heating steering wheel, heated seats, cooling seats. Turn it off right now. Your AC, everything's here. Nice to have these hard buttons as opposed to all the digital stuff and the screen stuff that everyone's going to right now. Same with the infotainment system. Radio, media, it's very intuitive. This is one of the best systems I like, and this Equinox has a very good one as well. They're both very intuitive, and this one's very good. Okay, so media, we go to map. Now this does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's quick to respond. Lots of different things you can set here, and it's pretty cool. It is voice activated. I think I'll show you that in the in my driving part of the video. So it's very intuitive. It's easy to find stuff. It's quick response. It's a very good system. And that was mentioning all the leather stuff and all the soft touch here. I didn't mention up here is a softer rubber kind of feeling. Up here is harder, but over here is all softer touch. Over here is harder touch down here. But it's kind of nice that it's soft touch in this section as well. The steering wheel, I don't know if it's leather. I'll double check that, folks. It is very soft and comfortable, but I don't think it's leather. It doesn't feel the same as the steering wheel. And oh, the steering wheel is telescoping back and forth. Not a lot of range of motion, but enough. I see the car there. It's flashing, letting you know the trunk's open and the door's open. So yeah, these cars are just so techy right now. They've got so many things that they tell you. It's pretty awesome. And the heads-up display doesn't only tell you the speed, even though this one's not very bright. It does tell you your speed if you wanted to. You can adjust how big the speed is, like the font size. You can, I can tell you your next, you know, you're going to turn right at, if you have the GPS going, and you're going to be turning right in 100 kilometers or 200 meters. It'll tell you that on there as well. The lane keep assist down here will flash green when it's activating and keeping you in your lane, but also on the heads-up display, it also shows up there. So again, very techy. It's got all the bells and whistles. The screen can be set up so you can see your radio and some of your menu in here, and the map can be half. And if you go like this, it makes the map full. If you press that button up there, it goes to half and half again. Backup camera. It's got the surround view. It does have the two different, the blue line solid and the one that helps you with your curving. Sorry, what's that flash from? Jeez. Missed it. The camera's flash, but it's got the two lines, the one solid one, as you can see there, and the one that curves, which guides you. And like I was telling you before, the red line is not where you're going to touch. You still got like 4 or 5 inches before touching, even if you pass the red line. But this camera is positioned up high in fisheye wide angle, and if there's something right behind the bumper on the ground, you'll also see it, pick it up. So that's nice. And it does have the surround, the guidance. And being a surround, you can ask for the full camera, and you can see from the right side there. Oh, there it is. Sorry, you can see the back, the right side, the left side, just the back, and all around. So it's kind of nice. It does all those features. So in the steering wheel, we have the voice activation mode, which is for the radio, phone, and navigation. Okay, we have the hang up and answer a call, volume up and down, and searching for channels in the modes. On this side, you have your information system. Like down here, you can see how it changes to the different features, and all the settings, the usual settings are in there. Now this one's a lot of settings, which is pretty cool. Heads up display. But there's so many things you can change in here with the driver's assist and the lane keep assist and all these kind of things. So it's just too many things to go in there, but it's a lot of things you can do, and that's pretty cool. And this section here, you can see, and when you switch to different modes for sport and all that, it turns into a different color screen too. It's red for sport, it's blue for smart, and it's kind of like a greenish. Well, I thought it was kind of blue, green. Yeah, it's a different. It's still blue, but the sport is red, and it shows you a little bit different. As the digital needle goes up, it illuminates the light, so you can't see the 120 kilometer, 140. All those, you can't really see them; they're faint. As you accelerate, the zeros. See right there. There you go. The zero is illuminated, and as it goes up, it illuminates the speeds as the little digital meter goes up. So I don't know. That's kind of okay, but I like to see it in a big number, not just it light up as it's going by. And you have analog on this side for your fuel and your temperatures, and RPM on that side. Down here is your total odometer, or on the car, total kilometers on the car, and up here is your fuel range. That's 154 kilometers left to go on this trip, which is shy of 100 miles per hour, 100 miles to go. And it's got a temperature gauge down there actually as well. It's 51 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And we got your usual settings for the of course the windshield wiper and everything. It does have the auto lights system here. So over here we have the light control for the dash, for the brightness of the dash. We have your lane keep assist feature, locking center diff. So this does have a all-wheel drive. The H-Track does have a locking center diff, which I described earlier, or I'm going to describe somewhere in this video. So that's awesome. You can have a locking center diff. That's much better for off-roading capabilities. And you can turn off your traction control here, and your blind spot monitoring system here, and adjusting the holes for your trunk here. When I was putting to the seats, I forgot to mention this does have memory seats in the upper, in the limited. It may have it in one trim lower. Again, check the specs on Hyundai for that, and I'll post it as well. Now, what I like about this one, my wife's Subaru doesn't have it. I think the new Outback will have it, but the older couple of years, the limited seats in my Subaru does not have the mirror connected to the memories. So our seats change, but me and my wife have to keep changing the mirrors every time we get in each other's car. This one adjusts the mirror with your memory position, so thumbs up on the memory seats, affecting the mirror as well. And these are the ones that, if you put it in reverse, they will also angle down so you can see your curb. So that's kind of nice. Mazda doesn't have, the Mazda CX-5 does not have these features on their memory seats. It's like the Subaru, only the seat changes. This has express up and down for the front two windows, but the rear windows are not express up or down. And you have your usual adjustments here for the mirrors. I explained the infotainment system. The rear view mirror has your links here for your garage. It's got an SOS system. It's got something to activate similar to, I think, GM, where if you need help, you can press the SOS button. Just has something to do with the roads. I'll double check what this is. I forgot. A salesperson mentioned something, and I'll double check, and I'll put in the description below. Again, the panoramic roof is pretty cool, pretty nice. Oh, I should close that. It's no power, right? Just one button, and we got, of course, your lights up here, and it's got the one. Now my old Subaru, my Santa Fe has two spots for the glasses. That's kind of nice, but this one has one. That's enough, I guess. Lots of cargo space everywhere. It does have another little cubby here for putting other things, other cell phones or other stuff. It's got a decent size box here. Ventilation system is up there. I mentioned the system here is very nice. I love that there's so many hard buttons. I'm just repeating myself, but it's awesome that this is a good size. The position of it, even though it kind of sticks out, it doesn't really look godly or odd because it's higher up here too, so it just kind of blends in nicer with everything. So, and it's a good line of sight. You got to look down a little bit towards it, and it's not getting close to the line of sight up here. So it's in a very good position. I think it's a good size. Again, love the hard buttons. Okay, that's it. Nice bucket seats. Lots of comfort size here. It's a bigger space down here than, actually, not the Subaru, the CX-5 and Equinox. It's a little bit tighter, not by a lot, but a little bit tighter space those cars are here. These bucket seats are a little bit more wider, or maybe, actually, you know what, it might not be the angle that's wider, but just the seat is a bit bigger than the CX-5 or the Equinox. So a larger person can sit in these, like 250 pounds, and be comfortable, where in those other cars, the bucket seats are a little bit smaller and bigger folks will not be comfortable in them. So this is a good size. It's good for bigger people as well. Great size cabin, good headroom. Now regarding the padding here, there is a little padding here that's like leather and all that kind of stuff. So that's not bad. The way my leg drives, it just kind of lines up along here. It would have been better if this soft touch material was wrapped all the way above here, because when I'm in cruise control, my knee's hitting the harder spot. When I'm driving, it's just kind of lining up here. So it should have come up just another inch into this hard section up here, and it should have overlapped here. Otherwise, it's kind of nice that it has it instead of being all hard, but just a little bit adjustment in the position would have been a better placement for it. Check out all the specs more carefully on their website, and by all means, go and test drive this. It's a really good car, and I am going to post some links below in the description area that will be a link to the insurance accident rating reports. Hyundai has their own video talking more about the car. That'll be down in the link below, so check those links out as well for extra information. Now, as you know, I'm new at this. It's only like the third or fourth car that I'm reviewing, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. The Mazda CX-5 is coming right after this. I've actually tested it already, but there's one more thing I wanted to do before I finalize that. So look out for that. Hopefully the Subaru Outback with a 2.4 liter turbo will be coming up as well soon. So please subscribe and grow with me as I'm getting better at doing this, and I'm going to be adding more cars. I appreciate it.